Respect over emotion. That's a code a lot of people forget when they get caught up in love. See, when you really care about somebody, your heart can blind your logic. You start excusing things you never should have tolerated. You start forgiving words that cut too deep because you're scared of losing the connection. But the truth is, if you gotta lose your respect to keep love, that ain't love. That's weakness dressed up as loyalty. I've seen too many people give up their peace trying to say something that was already done. You can't build a kingdom on shaky ground, and you can't build a relationship on disrespect. When somebody starts talking to you crazy, when they start belittling you, tearing you down, or using words to control you, that's the moment you need to open your eyes. Because once a person knows they can disrespect you and still keep you, they'll never stop doing it. They'll test you again and again until you're too tired to fight back. Respect over emotion means learning to control your reactions. It's about choosing discipline over desire. You might love her, but if she's crossing lines, if she's breaking your spirit, you gotta have the strength to step back. You can't let your feelings trap you in a place that's killing your confidence. Because when a man loses his self-respect, he loses his power. And when you lose your power, you stop being who you are. There's a difference between love and attachment. Love brings growth, peace, and support. Attachment brings fear, control, and dependency. When you're attached, you start accepting things you know ain't right. You tell yourself she didn't mean it or she was just mad. But let me tell you something. Anger doesn't create new words. It only reveals what's already sitting in somebody's heart. If she disrespects you when she's mad, that's who she really is when the mask comes off. Real love doesn't require you to shrink. It doesn't ask you to lower your standards or forget your worth. Respect is the foundation of everything. Without it, you got nothing but chaos. I don't care how beautiful she is, how long you've known her, or what y'all been through. The minute she starts treating you like you're less than, it's time to move different because you teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. Don't let emotion talk you into staying somewhere your soul don't feel safe. Don't let loneliness make you settle for someone who plays with your peace. Your energy is sacred. Protect it like it's gold. Because once you give it to the wrong person, they'll drain you until you're empty and then blame you for being dry. You can't pour into somebody who keeps poking holes in your cup. Sometimes walking away is the loudest way to say, I respect myself. You don't got to argue. You don't got to prove your point. You don't got to explain what they already know. Just move. Let your silence remind them of what they lost. Let your absence speak the truth. Your words never could. Because forgiveness without change is just permission to hurt you again. See, emotion can make you weak if you don't learn how to manage it. But respect makes you strong. It teaches you patience, clarity, and self-control. When you respect yourself, you don't chase validation. You don't beg for love. You don't try to convince somebody to see your value. You already know what you bring to the table. And you're not afraid to eat alone if that means keeping your peace. Respect over emotion is about legacy thinking. It's about seeing the bigger picture, your future, your purpose, your growth. Every time you choose peace over chaos, boundaries over desperation, self-worth over comfort, you level up, you evolve, and that's how you win. So don't let emotion trick you into accepting disrespect. Keep your spirit intact, keep your head high, because a man who stands on respect never loses, even when he walks away. Words got power, real power. You can tell a person's whole truth just by listening close when they speak. See, people can fake actions for a while. They can smile in your face and act like they got love for you, but their words always slip. Their tongue tells on their heart. When somebody speaks out of anger, frustration, or ego, that's when the mask falls off. That's when you see who they really are underneath all that fronting. A lot of people think words don't mean nothing, that it's just talk. But words create energy, and energy don't lie. Every insult, every slick comment, every jab dressed up as a joke is communication from the soul. When a woman says something that hits below the belt, when she speaks like she's trying to cut deep instead of heal, that's not an accident. That's intention. That's truth hidden behind emotion. You gotta stop ignoring those red flags that come wrapped in excuses. She didn't mean it. She was just mad. She was joking. Nah, words don't come from nowhere. They come from what's inside. If she calls you something out of disrespect, if she talks to you like you're less than, that moment right there is her showing you how she really sees you. You can't keep forgiving energy that's trying to destroy you. It's crazy how quick people will tell on themselves if you just listen. You don't need to argue. You don't need to defend yourself. Just let them talk. The truth always shows up in conversation. Somebody who values you speaks life into you. They don't use your pain as a weapon. They don't use your mistakes as ammunition. They speak with care because they see your worth. But when somebody's always criticizing, belittling, or trying to make you feel small, that's not love. That's control. You got to learn to read between the lines. When she starts saying things like, you're nothing without me, or no one else will put up with you, that's her telling you she don't respect you. That's her showing you she's comfortable hurting you if it means keeping control. And once that kind of energy enters the relationship, it's only a matter of time before the love starts dying. Because real love can't survive in a place where words are used like weapons. See, when somebody truly cares about you, even when they're angry, they protect your dignity. They might be upset, but they'll never try to break your spirit. They'll never speak something that can't be unsaid. That's the difference between someone who's emotionally mature and someone who's just selfish. One argues to solve the problem, the other argues to win. Every man has to understand this. The way someone speaks to you is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. People full of peace don't throw words full of poison. So when you start hearing bitterness, sarcasm, disrespect, that's a sign of what's going on in their heart. You can't heal that for them. You can't love them enough to change it. The best thing you can do is protect your energy and keep your boundaries tight. Because once you start forgiving words that break you, you teach them it's okay to do it again. You teach them that your silence equals acceptance. But every time you let it slide, you lose a piece of yourself. Respect ain't just about what you demand from others. It's also about what you refuse to tolerate. You don't need to shout. You don't need to curse back. You don't need to match their energy. Your power is in your composure. Your strength is in walking away when the words turn venomous. Because silence in moments like that speaks louder than any comeback. It tells them, I hear you, I see you, and now I know who you really are. Words reveal intentions. And once those intentions are exposed, believe them. Don't rewrite the story to make it fit what you want. Don't confuse apology with change. Anybody can say sorry, but real remorse shows in how they move after they realize what they've done. If they keep doing the same thing, that sorry means nothing. Protect yourself from empty talk. Watch the language, not just the love. Because love without respect is manipulation. And no amount of sweet words can cover up a bitter heart. When someone truly values you, their words build you, not break you. So stay alert. Don't get blinded by feelings. Listen deeper than the sound. Feel the intention behind the tone. Because words are like mirrors. They reflect the truth that people try to hide. And once you've seen the truth, don't close your eyes to it. Believe what's been revealed and move with purpose. That's how you protect your peace. That's how you keep your crown straight. Boundaries build strength. That's something most people don't learn until they've been broken a few times. You can't grow if you don't know where your limits are. You can't find peace if you keep letting people cross lines just because you love them. Boundaries ain't walls, they're gates. They don't keep love out. They keep your energy protected. They remind people that your peace ain't free, your time ain't cheap, and your respect ain't negotiable. When you don't have boundaries, you end up pouring into everybody but yourself. You let people take from you until you're empty, then they blame you for being drained. You start saying it's okay when it's not, just to keep the peace, but inside, you're fighting a war nobody sees. That's what happens when you confuse loyalty with self-neglect. You start thinking love means tolerating everything, when really real love respects structure. When you set boundaries, you're telling the world how you want to be treated. You're saying, I know my worth and I'm not lowering my standards just to be accepted. That's power, that's maturity, that's self-respect. People who truly value you will adjust to your boundaries because they care about keeping your presence in their life. The ones who get offended, they're only there to take advantage. A lot of people mistake boundaries for attitude. They'll say you changed, that you're cold, that you don't care anymore. But now you just learn the difference between giving and overgiving. You learn that peace feels better than proving yourself. You learn that sometimes walking away ain't weakness, it's wisdom. Because not everyone deserves access to your energy, your heart, or your time. When a woman crosses your boundaries, when she talks to you reckless, tests your patience, or plays games with your trust, that's your cue to stand firm. Don't explain too much. Don't beg for her to understand. Just move. Because when you keep allowing what breaks you, you're teaching her that your standards are flexible. And once a person knows they can disrespect you without consequence, it's over. They'll keep pushing that line further every time until you lose yourself trying to keep them happy. Boundaries don't make you hard, they make you clear. They let people know that your kindness has structure. You can be compassionate and still say no. You can love deeply and still protect your space. You can forgive someone and still not let them back into your circle. That's real growth when you stop trying to prove you're good and start being good to yourself. Too many men confuse endurance with strength. They think being strong means taking all the pain, staying silent, and carrying the weight. But real strength is choosing yourself when the situation starts draining your spirit. It's saying, I won't let this break me, even when your heart wants to stay. That's the kind of power that builds legacy. Boundaries teach people that access to you is a privilege, not a guarantee. Not everyone should get your time just because they want it. You can love someone from a distance. You can care without being controlled. And if someone can't respect your limits, that just proves they were never here for your well-being. They were here for their comfort. A lot of times, setting boundaries feels lonely at first. You lose people. You lose connections. But what you gain is peace, clarity, and strength. The kind of strength that comes from knowing you're not afraid to be alone if it means staying true to yourself. And that's something money, status, or validation can't buy. You gotta protect your focus, protect your spirit, protect your direction. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to your purpose. Every time you walk away from a situation that disrespects you, you're walking towards your higher self and the people meant for you, the real ones that meet you at that level. Don't let guilt talk you out of your boundaries. Don't let love blind you to disrespect. The same way you protect your dreams, protect your peace, because without peace, nothing you build will last. So stand on your lines, speak your truth. Don't be afraid to lose people who can't handle your strength, because the ones who can will honor it. They'll move with care, they'll speak with respect, and they'll love you the way you deserve within the boundaries you set. That's where your power lives. That's where your real growth begins. Boundaries ain't about keeping people out there, about keeping your soul intact. And once you master that, you stop chasing peace and start becoming it. Accountability is love, but most people don't understand that. See, when you really care about somebody, you don't just tell them what they want to hear. You tell them the truth, even if it stings. You hold them to a higher standard because you want to see them grow, not stay stuck. That's what real love looks like. It's not just about comfort, it's about correction. It's not about control, it's about contribution. Both people building each other up, not breaking each other down. Too many relationships fall apart because accountability disappears. People start doing whatever they want and hiding behind the word love. But love without accountability is chaos. It's selfish. It's one-sided. If somebody really loves you, they'll check you when you're slipping. They won't let you disrespect them and then say it's fine. They'll tell you, nah, that wasn't cool. You need to fix that. And if you love them back, you'll listen. Not because they're trying to control you, but because they're trying to keep the connection real. When a woman says something hurtful when she crosses that line, accountability means she owns it. Not excuses, not gaslighting, not flipping it back on you. Just truth. Yeah, I said that, I was wrong. That's how healing starts. But when she refuses to take responsibility, when she plays the victim after causing the pain, that's manipulation. That's not love. That's ego trying to protect pride. Real love ain't afraid of being uncomfortable. It's not afraid of hard conversations. It's not afraid of hearing you hurt me. Because when both people are mature, they use those moments to grow closer, not further apart. They don't run from accountability. They lean into it. They know that without honesty, there's no foundation. Without ownership, there's no trust. I've seen people destroy everything good they had because they couldn't just admit when they were wrong. They'd rather lose someone solid than humble themselves. That's pride, and pride don't build, it breaks. It's easy to say I love you. It's harder to say I was wrong. But that's what separates real ones from pretenders. The real ones know that taking accountability don't make you weak. It makes you trustworthy. It makes your love credible. When you're in a relationship where accountability flows both ways, the energy feels different. You can talk without fear. You can argue without hate. You can disagree without disrespect. Because both of you understand that the goal is not to win the fight, it's to protect the bond. You stop keeping score and start keeping balance. You both hold each other to your best self. But if you're the only one taking responsibility, if you're the only one saying sorry, if you're the only one trying to fix what they broke, then you're not in love, you're in a cycle. And cycles don't heal, they repeat. You can't grow in a space where accountability is one-sided. That kind of love will drain you because you'll start thinking you're the problem when all you're doing is caring too much. Accountability is not about blame, it's about awareness. It's about both people being honest enough to ask themselves, how did I contribute to this situation? What can I do better next time? That kind of mindset turns pain into progress. It keeps the love alive through every challenge because real relationships ain't built on perfection, they're built on correction. When someone loves you, they protect your heart, not just with words, but with actions. They don't just apologize, they change. They don't just talk about respect, they show it. And when they mess up, they face it head on. That's growing energy. That's love with accountability. And if they can't do that, if they twist every situation to avoid responsibility, if they can't own up to their actions, you got to see that for what it is. Don't let your loyalty blind you to someone's lack of maturity. You can't fix someone who refuses to face their own reflection. You can only choose to protect your peace and walk away. Because accountability is not just about holding others to the truth, it's about holding yourself to it too. When you make a mistake, own it. When you fall short, correct it. That's how you build character. That's how you attract people who move with the same integrity. Love without accountability is temporary. It fades as soon as reality hits. But love built on truth, on ownership, on respect, that's the kind of love that lasts. So stop running from accountability. Stop mistaking comfort for connection. If it's real, it'll challenge you. It'll stretch you. It'll make you better. Because that's what love does. It grows through honesty. And in the end, accountability don't break bonds. It protects them. It makes sure that the love you're giving and the love you're getting stays solid, pure, and built to last. Walking away with dignity don't mean you gave up. It means you finally understood your worth. It's not about quitting. It's about choosing peace over pain. See, people get it twisted. They think staying through disrespect shows loyalty, but real loyalty starts with self-respect. You can love somebody deeply, but when that love starts making you lose yourself, it's time to step back and breathe. Because what's the point of holding on to something that's holding you down? Walking away don't always feel powerful in the moment. Sometimes it hurts like hell. You question yourself. You replay memories. You wonder if you could have fixed it. But deep down, you know you did everything you could. You tried. You showed up. You love hard. But love alone don't save something that refuses to respect you back. There comes a point when you gotta stop fighting for connection and start fighting for your peace. A person who truly values you won't push you to that point. They won't play with your emotions or test how much pain you can handle before you break. But when someone keeps crossing lines, when they use your kindness as a pass for disrespect, that's when walking away becomes necessary. Because staying after you've been disrespected doesn't prove love, it proves fear. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of accepting the truth. But fear is temporary, peace is permanent. When you walk away with dignity, you reclaim your power. You stop chasing closure from people who already showed you who they are. You stop arguing with disrespect. You stop begging for energy that was never meant to stay. You just move quiet, calm, confident, because your silence hits different when they realize they can't reach you anymore. You don't need to slam doors. You don't need to explain. Your absence speaks loud enough. Walking away doesn't mean you hate them. It means you love yourself enough to stop letting them hurt you. You can forgive, but forgiveness don't mean access. You can wish them peace, but that doesn't mean they deserve your presence. Some people only learn the value of your energy when it's no longer available. And that's fine. Let them learn. Your job isn't to teach anyone how to treat you. Your job is to make sure your energy never gets misused again. There's a certain strength in letting go gracefully. Anybody can leave out of anger, but it takes discipline to walk away calm with your head high, without throwing shade, without revenge. That's real power, because that kind of control shows you're not driven by emotion anymore. You're led by clarity. You finally understand that your peace is priceless. The truth is, you never lose by walking away from disrespect. You only lose when you stay and keep letting it happen. You lose time, confidence, and self-worth, pieces of yourself that take years to rebuild. But once you leave, you get all that back. Slowly, piece by piece, you remember who you were before the chaos. You start feeling light again. You start moving with purpose again. That's the beauty of dignity. It restores you. When you walk away, right, you don't wish bad on nobody. You don't expose their flaws or seek attention. You just elevate. You focus on your growth, your goals, your peace. Because success is the loudest response to betrayal. Happiness is the best revenge to disrespect. You show them without words that you never needed them to shine. Walking away with dignity is about discipline. It's about knowing when to stop giving chances to people who keep showing you the same patterns. It's about accepting that closure doesn't come from their apology. It comes from your decision to stop waiting for it. You don't need them to admit what they did wrong to heal. You just need to accept that they're not capable of loving you the way you deserve. And one day the pain fades. You wake up and realize you don't miss them anymore. You just miss the idea of what you hoped it could have been. But the peace you feel now, that's real. That's your reward for walking away the right way. So don't ever think leaving makes you weak. It makes you wise. It means you chose growth over comfort. It means you had the courage to protect your energy, even when your heart still cared. That's dignity, quiet strength, silent power, unshakable peace. And when you master that, nobody can take it from you again. Because once you learn to walk away with dignity, you never chase what disrespects you. You just keep moving forward, focused, grounded, and free.